Now, high yield, or specifically for this video, ultra high yielding ETFs that offer a ton of income generation by utilizing the covered call strategy and become more and more popular, and we're seeing more and more fund providers take advantage of what the outcome of this strategy can be if done right. Now, a covered call is a sale of call options by a seller who owns shares in the underlying stock or asset. The sellers create an additional stream of income by collecting option premiums while continue to hold onto the stock shares at worst. The investor would have to hand over shares if the options are exercised. Now, even though the covered call strategy is not new whatsoever, there's tons of new amazing ultra high yielding funds that are now available in the market to us retail investors, offering us the potential to earn an insane amount of income right from the start. So in this video, what I'm going to do is share with you guys my current 5 favorite ultra high yielding ETFs that yield much greater than most other dividend paying stocks or ETFs across the markets. I'm going to share with you guys what these ETFs are, how they work, and how much income they've generated so far since inception. So if you want to see my personal favorite 5 ultra high yielding ETFs and go through them with me, make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. My A to Z dividend investing ebook has helped countless dividend investors get started with their journey. And my custom dividend tracker that I'm constantly using here on the channel has also helped so many investors stay on track and allow them to see their dividend income in real time. Well, today I have another treat for you guys. I'm not only going to offer you my A to Z dividend investing ebook and the custom dividend tracker, but also just for a short limited time, I'm going to be adding in my brand new weekly dividend blueprint ebook to show you how you can get started with weekly dividend ETFs and add this into your investing strategy. This offer is not going to last long, so go ahead and click the first link down below in my description, and you're going to get both ebooks and the custom dividend tracker bundle. But like I said, please act fast because this won't be around for long. Now let's get back into the video. Now, the first of 5 ultra high yielding ETFs that I not only have my eyes on, but am actively adding more and more shares of is ULTY, or the YieldMax Ultra Option Income Strategy ETF, which currently has a distribution rate of almost 87%. Now, one by one, I'm going to share with you guys what these ETFs are, like I mentioned, show you how they work, how much they pay, and then I also want to share with you my take on why I'm buying them for my portfolio. So in ULTY's case, the investment objective, it says the primary investment objective is to seek current income. The secondary investment objective is to seek exposure to the share price returns of the underlying securities, subject to a limit on potential investment gains for each security. It also says right here, ULTY is an actively managed ETF that seeks to generate weekly income from a portfolio of covered call strategies. Now, generally speaking, when selling covered calls, if the underlying that you're selling covered calls on is very risky, if the implied volatility is massive, there's going to be more and more income generation to be had. And even though ULTY's underlying names are a little bit too risky for my portfolio normally, I like the risk-reward ratio with this one, at least for a small portion of my portfolio. I personally would never have the stomach or the guts to make this a massive position, but for right now, I'm adding a few shares here and there and hopefully dollar cost averaging down on red days. Now, the income generation for ULTY, at least as of the last several weeks, because this one does pay out on a weekly basis, is right around 8 or 9 or 10 cents per share per week. Now, based off those numbers, it would take around a year more or less for you to get back your entire investment, which is insanity. Now, there's risks with this one along with any other covered call ETF that offers massive yield. A few of the risks are the fact that the underlying can lose value, which of course would make the share price on a name like this dip as well. But also the distributions and the distribution rate is not going to be guaranteed whatsoever, so keep that in mind when you're choosing what to buy for your own portfolio. Now, the next covered call ETF that I absolutely love, I own a ton of this one and am actively buying more, is the NASDAQ 100 High Income ETF, which offers NASDAQ 100 exposure, which is relatively high beta and offers around a 15% distribution rate. Now, I know before you guys start clowning me and say 15% distribution rate is not ultra high yield, well, back in my day, it definitely was. I mean, the new landscape of dividend investing is sort of out of control. The fact that a lot of investors have their entire portfolios at a 50, 60, or 70% yield across everything, but again, to each their own. I still consider a 15% yielding ETF that offers NASDAQ 100 exposure through a high income strategy pretty high yield. And this ETF does so by implementing a data-driven call option strategy. And so far, the NASDAQ 100 High Income ETF has paid out anywhere from around 60 cents per share per month on average to investors, which again is not bad whatsoever in my book and has also grown over time. The next ultra high yielder that I'm really into as of recently is MAGI, or the Magnificent 7 Covered Call ETF. This ETF offers Mag 7 exposure and then of course uses a covered call strategy on the Magnificent 7 stocks. Now, the Mag 7 stocks are relatively high beta also, so you are going to get a lot more income potential by writing calls on those names. 35% distribution rate, weekly income again with this one. And the main reason I want some more exposure to this one in my portfolio, I want some more Mag 7 exposure through a high income strategy in my personal portfolio. I know the Mag 7 are pretty high beta, sort of goes against my normal investment objective and goals, but just again, like the rest of these names that we're going over in today's video, in small doses, I think they are perfect ancillary satellite positions for my portfolio. Two more ultra high yielders to go through that I am actively adding and I'm really into as of recently: BTCI, the NEOS Bitcoin High Income ETF. I personally do want some more Bitcoin exposure in my portfolio through a high income strategy. This ETF so far has done amazing because the underlying Bitcoin has also done amazing during this time frame. We're talking monthly distributions with this one, almost 28% distribution rate, so this is definitely up there in the ultra high yield territory. The way this ETF makes money is by writing call options on Bitcoin future ETFs. So again, the main reason I'm adding some of this one to my portfolio is because I do want to have some Bitcoin exposure. I don't really have all that much Bitcoin exposure in my portfolio. And with the amount of income potential with this one, if Bitcoin stays volatile, if Bitcoin stays doing well, it would only be a few years until your entire investment would be paid back. Now, last but not least, another name that I'm adding slowly that is definitely an ultra high yielder is CONEY, the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF. This one as of right now is offering, yes, you're seeing this right, 142% distribution rate. Now again, names like this, names like CONEY, that reference single stocks like Coinbase that are very volatile, are generally speaking not something that I would add to my portfolio, but again, in small doses, there's the potential for massive income generation and decent performance. I mean, since inception, CONEY is up around 166%. Now, the amount of income generation with this one is sort of all over the place. Some months are going to be as high as almost 80 cents. As far as the distribution goes, some months as low as 43 cents and everything else in between. Now, I will say that because I've owned some shares of CONEY in my portfolio basically since this ETF started trading, again, very small doses of it, I've been more or less paid back my entire initial investment over the past year plus. So at this point, I'm going to start piling on some more shares just to get some Coinbase exposure through a high income or ultra high income strategy. Again, with CONEY or any of the names that I'm talking about in this video, these names can be extremely risky, so do your own research and figure out what makes sense for your risk tolerance, for your strategy, and do a ton of research before you spend a single dollar of your hard-earned money. So those are a few of the ultra high yielding ETFs that I'm personally adding to my portfolio for the reasons that I talked about. Again, generally speaking, in my portfolio, even though I am an income focused investor with capital appreciation, with the portfolio growth sort of secondary, I still want to have some exposure to some names that are going to offer the potential for massive income. Now, with all that said, before I go, I do have a question for you guys down below. When it comes to ultra high yielding ETFs across the markets, I know there are so many to choose from. What are some of your personal favorite names altogether? Drop the ticker symbols in my comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.